What's up, guys? So I suddenly do not feel very well at all. I have something like tickling the back of my throat. Have like a headache. I've been sneezing a lot. So I'm gonna take this NyQuil and pass the fuck out. But I did watch Westworld's season 2 opener today. I went over to Kate and Jake's house. We're watching Westworld.
I'm not drinking a beer. Controversial.
Emily, Jake, we're all watching Westworld.
Westworld. This is all of us yelling Westworld like we're at Six Flags.
Wow, what do you say after that one? Brutal, savage, wrecked, absolutely taken down.
And I just wanted to talk about some thoughts that I had for the season opener. I streamed for most of my waking hours today. So this is really all the vlog. Will just be my reactions, because again, I don't feel very well, which sucks, because yesterday's vlog, I'm exporting it right now, is kind of a return to kind of what I want to do. I'm especially happy with one of the edits in there. I think it's fucking hilarious, but it's definitely my kind of humor. But yeah, season 2 opener is definitely given a lot to chew on, and it has given a lot of sort of mysteries for the collective internet to unravel. So let me say before I start, spoilers for season 1 of Westworld and spoilers for the first episode of season 2 of Westworld. There will be some conjecture in here that's not necessarily confirmed, but we'll talk about it anyways. So season 2 starts off with us finding Bernard waking up on a beach, it looks like. And it also looks like some new head person at Delos has come, and it looks like they finally arrived and they're trying to save everyone. What's strange is that it appears that it's 2 weeks in the future from when Dolores and the rest of the hosts sort of slaughtered everyone at the party and killed Robert Ford, which is Anthony Hopkins' character. Which is bizarre, you know. It's kind of like, wait, why is this 2 weeks ahead? And it doesn't seem like Bernard can really remember anything. Now, we as an audience know that this is Bernard is, you know, made in Arnold's image and is actually a host himself. So it doesn't appear that anyone seems to know that Bernard is a host. And so we also see a guy who I believe was taken by the dudes that were painted in season 1, so I'll be interested to see how he sort of comes out. But then we flash back to Dolores riding with Teddy and sort of rounding up people, murdering humans, and really sort of showcasing her sort of warpath. She has a discussion with Teddy later in the episode about how, you know, it's not just about taking back this world. There's other worlds out there, and we need to take them from all of ours. These are creatures that aren't like us, that have enslaved us our whole lives, and we need to, you know, take them over. I remember. And so it really seems like Dolores has been kind of set down this path. It'll be interesting to see if they try to pull like the Deus Ex Machina of like, this was Robert's plan all along, and this is all actually just programmed, kind of like they did with Maeve last season, where, you know, she's getting out and she's, you know, looking at all this stuff and it's all been programmed into her, but she was also programmed to go to the mainland and didn't. So that was kind of interesting. So we have the 2 weeks in the future, and then we have the past. And then we also have another storyline with Maeve and the narrative creator guy. The guy that Robert Ford was kind of like stepping his toes on. The kind of like cheesy, scummy dude. She finds him, and he's, you know, she's trying to make him help her go find her kid. She also meets back up with Hector. And that is sort of like an interesting question as to where in time that's happening. They would lead you to believe that it's happening directly after the events of the hosts killing everyone, like in the town. But I'm curious to see if maybe that's sort of a red herring. Similarly, you see probably the most interesting piece that they explore is Bernard with a group of humans surviving directly after the attack. And he's with the what is her name? It's the girl who basically tried to oust Robert from his position of power at Delos. It's the chick from Thor Ragnarok. I cannot remember her name in the show for some reason. But her and Bernard were sort of with this group of humans. All of them die except her and Bernard, and then she sort of leads him to this underground bunker. And in this underground bunker, a couple of interesting things happen. The handle has a DNA scanner, and it scans Bernard's DNA, and it says he's not a threat, which is interesting because you would think that that would out him as a host. He then basically is like kind of taken aback that he didn't know this was here. And she sort of implies that there's a lot of stuff that's happening at Delos that maybe Bernard doesn't know about or understand, and that Robert didn't even know about or understand. And so what it really seems like is they were sort of focused on Westworld, and they were sort of focused on the art of it all, and sort of setting up this theme park, whereas there was a lot of stuff going on in the background business-wise that they were completely oblivious to. Also, while down there, she tries to get extracted, and they say that they need Dolores' dad. They need this specific host. This package has to come. Which, if you'll remember from the first season, there was a lot of sort of intrigue and mystery around his character and around what his character said and did and how it acted. And she said that it's an insurance plan. So I'm really interested to see how that kind of plays out in terms of what exactly his sort of conscience holds, because there's also a scene where they take a core out of a host, and Bernard asks her, it's like, are we gathering data on the guests using their DNA and like using are we like basically are we like socially engineering and like privacy stealing from these people? And she's like, I'm not even gonna fucking answer that, lol. And so that's pretty interesting. So so that leads me to think, like, what does Peter Abernathy know? Why is he the insurance policy? What's in his brain? And then Bernard's sort of like freaking out. He's like dying, and he like takes some brain juice from another thing and like injects himself into it, presumably to stop dying. And then the end of the episode has like sort of the biggest twist. It cuts back to 2 weeks, presumably 2 weeks from where we just were. Bernard walking around with this new head person from Delos, and they come upon this just ocean that's not even on the map, and they say, like, there's no way that Robert could have done this, because they knew Robert was terraforming. They're like, there's no way Robert could have done this by himself without anyone knowing. And so Bernard kind of like goes down, he sees all of these hosts all drown in the water, and he says, like, at the very end, he goes, I killed them. I think I killed them all. And then it flashes to someone underwater that a lot of people are saying is Teddy. Not sure yet. But I do think that they're definitely, from the like in future weeks preview, they're definitely setting it up to have several different timelines this time, as opposed to like 3 main timelines. We could have like 5 or 6, because we're also flashing back to William again before he becomes the Man in Black. I guess that's another important point. The little kid that's like Robert's childhood consciousness or whatever talks to William and says, hey, I've made this game for you. This isn't about Arnold's game for Dolores anymore. Like, I made this for you. You have to find the door. And he gives him sort of this riddle, and then he goes like, well, I guess I don't need you anymore, and fucking blows him away. So I was like, oh shit. So things are really stacking up. It looks like, I would say, maybe not timelines wise, but there's definitely going to be 5 or 6 different storylines, and I think they're going to do a thing where they again tell them out of chronological order, and they tell them out of sequence, so as to sort of confuse us. Especially at the beginning, when it opens with Dolores talking to Bernard about having a dream, and Bernard says he wakes up on a beach with a dream. And then later in the episode, Dolores asks somebody else about having dreams, and she says, I never had dreams before, but you're in mine now. And so I think it's interesting, the parallel between those, and how Dolores is sort of interviewing Bernard instead of Bernard interviewing Dolores. And I think that's going to be a key part of the rest of the season. But yeah, my video just finished exporting, and I'm going to take this a NyQuil, and I'm going to go to bed. So I will catch you guys tomorrow, but let me know what you guys thought of Westworld Season 2 opener down in the comments below. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe.